Oh, it's doing that weird thing where OBS just becomes Discord for a second. There we go. Now we're out on the airwaves, I think.
Yeah, you're live. Let me turn my fucking volume off.
Now we're out in the airwaves in the world.
Right there. Perfect.
I don't have chat yet.
Okay, so I'm an
Now I have
American.
chat.
So I'm an American. I have a beer. Where's your tea?
Hold on.
Oh, he's got
I
it.
actually do
He's
have-
got the tea unlocked.
Fucking knew it. Fucking knew
There
it.
you go.
Called it.
Tea mode. All right. I need the ring light. I thought I could get away with not having the ring light. It turns out.
Calling me.
Oh, Brad's mommy's calling him. Oh, let there be light.
Right. Hello, God.
It's me, Margaret.
It took me a second to register where that was from.
Alright, now I look nice and clear. Now we're looking good. Welcome to the death stream, everybody. I don't know. I had this thought about the death stream. Well, because we've been back now for about 4 weeks. We missed a week because I didn't have internet last Thursday. So we've done. I think this is the 4th show we've done since the return of the death stream. Have I been doing intros like at all? Because I feel like I haven't.
I think we've just been fucking. I don't think we have.
Well, everybody, welcome to the death stream.
YouTube videos. This isn't really a YouTube video though. It's like a live stream, so you're just fucking around.
I mean, we're fucking around. I consider it a live podcast. So usually, at least, I would do like a welcome to this show where this happens. But I guess I have not been doing that. So welcome to the death stream. This is a current events and politics show. I am Riley, your host, of course. You're on the Riley YouTube channel. Who else would it be? I am joined by my co-host, Brad. Hello, Brad. You have to identify yourself in some way because there is a third person on the screen. I could be talking about either of you.
That is me.
And also, we are joined by a special guest. We brought in an expert because, you know, we are a political show and we talk about United States politics because me and Brad, we're in the United States. So we were like, what's going on over there in the land of tea and beans on toast? What are they doing?
I didn't even know it fucking existed.
In the political world, does it still exist? Is it even still a thing? The UK.
I don't know how it is.
Yeah. So
I thought it was like a fan fiction. Like I don't know. Like I just thought it was like this like.
Kind of like, somebody wrote a country fan fiction. This is Nightster, by the way, is his name. We haven't yet said his name before Brad goes into a tangent.
I mean, it's like Galler, right? Like Galler is like this fake country. I thought it was kind of like that. I thought like, you know, it was just this made up thing. People talk about it in media, kind of like we talk about the Galar region in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, England was like its own thing.
Yeah. This is my favorite Pokemon region is England, but. Yeah, so this is Nightster, and I thought it would be fun. That Nightster, you may know it if you're a follower of the Toku Thrill YouTube channel, which I've been plugging for months, saying there's gonna be stuff on there, and then there never is. Nightster, but if you've seen it before, he's on there, and soon
there's never stuff on there because I've been trying to get you on, and you're always.
We've been seeing it for like several hours, almost every day for the past week, and not once have you asked me to film a video.
I have. No, that's a lie. I've asked, hey, do you want to try this format out, or do you want to do this idea for a video? And you said, yeah, maybe another time in like a week or so, and it never happened. You never.
I don't remember this, but yeah, I'm down to record videos, but I would like the videos we've already recorded to come out so that we can
Okay.
keep
I'm gonna
talking
be
about
honest.
Zenkaiger instead of not
But-
doing that.
I'm
Go
gonna
back
be honest.
into-
This Phoenix Wright objection from Nightster was perfect. He was all like, objection.
And yeah,
And Nightster also, this is a new announcement to do a little bit of early show shilling. By the way, me and Co Royalty.
Hoaxing Haxorus in the house. Sorry, that was.
What's up,
important.
hosting Haxorus? By the way, first of all, me and Co Royalty, I think, have officially reconciled. Because we were fighting previously, and then I asked him like, "Yo, we're not like done, are we?" And he was like, "Not the time." And then periodically for the next several weeks, like every couple days, I'd be like, "Now," and he'd be like, "Not the time." And I'd be like, "Now," and he'd be like, "Not the time." And then there was one time recently where I said now, and he said busy. So I'm like, that's a good sign. That's a good, because that implies that if he wasn't busy, now would be the time. So then I hit him with another now a couple days later. And that time he also said he was busy, but then he just started texting me about Toku like nothing ever happened. So I guess we're fine. I guess we're okay.
Did you
But
sound like that needy guy that messages a girl every now and then, just like, hey,
hey. Yeah, that was me and Co Royalty for a while. But I guess we're fine. But even before we were fighting, he told me that he did not want to continue the Megazord Radio podcast, which I don't know if that was, I don't know if that was a punitive measure because we were fighting. But the point is, he obviously is not that invested in it. We haven't made an episode in an entire calendar year. So I think I'm willing to just be like, okay, Co Royalty, if you don't want to be serious about Megazord Radio, that's fine. The door is open for you to guest at any time. But I'm looking to make some fucking progress, okay? Because Power Rangers is fucking 30 seasons long, and to cover all of it episode by episode is gonna take a long fucking time. So I can't stand to be taking years off just for funsies. So we're gonna try a new guy, and it's him right there. That's the new guy. So coming soon.
On my screen, it's here.
Yeah, well,
So-
for the stream, it's right here. And yeah, so we're gonna.
You're wrong. Actually, it's the opposite. I'm watching the stream.
Oh shit! Is it?
Yep.
Well, then no, because it would be both ways. It would be mirrored, so I would still be pointing the right way. That doesn't make any sense.
On my screen, you're pointing at Brad.
But on the stream, he's pointing at you. So I guess I don't fucking know. That's weird.
Yeah, it's real weird, but yeah, here we are. So coming soon, Megazord Radio is gonna be back. We'll be doing an episode, kind of just like catching up on what me and Co Royalty covered back in 2023, getting Nightster's thoughts on it before we set off on our continuing journey. So that's something to look forward to. But tonight we're doing the death stream. And we're talking about, I guess Elon Musk is on the docket. I don't know what he's been up to. I'm excited to hear what Brad has to say about that. But I know Nightster's time with us is limited. So first, I do just want to get the lowdown from him. What's going on over there? I don't know if you know anything about this, because you said you only know about like some prime ministers and stuff. Like, you didn't sound very super versed on politics. I just want to know whatever you know. But do you know anything about this race war that I'm told is going on over there?
I didn't even know there was a race war.
Okay, so you don't know anything about the race war. That's fine. I was just curious.
Race war UK. What the hell is this?
I think it's like an immigration issue. I've heard it referred to as a race war.
What? I'm not seeing anything on. Like, I don't know, research shit.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of right-wing wackos because they're funny, so maybe I'm just getting misinformation and I don't know it. But I heard there was some sort of big immigration situation going on over there that was being compared to a race war.
So I heard one time on one TikTok, so take this for a grain of salt, but I've heard that other countries, a lot of times when we have issues, they like lag behind us. So like, because Donald Trump got put into office, now everybody's talking about immigration.
Yeah.
I guess.
Brad, there's already a political streamer called Shoe on Head. You're appropriating this. You can't.
Is there really? Is there really?
They don't have a shoe on their head usually, but they are called Shoe on Head.
Damn it!
Have you only just noticed that he did that?
No, I noticed the whole time, but I finally was like, it was kind of a standoff where I'm like, okay, how long is Brad gonna keep this up? Am I gonna have to say something, or is he gonna, in a reasonable time frame, stop having the shoe on his head? And it got to the point where I decided to say something.
I was
I
wondering.
was gonna make it a joke where when somebody asked me about it, I was gonna be like, if I want to drink beers and have shoes on my head, this is America, goddammit.
Hoaxing
That's what I
Haxorus
was
is
gonna
here,
do, but
and it has resulted.
allegedly, I'm breaking copyright laws here, so fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, but how dare you rip off Shoe on Head like this? Hello, Hoaxing
Yo.
Haxorus. Welcome to the stream.
Ooh.
Hello.
How's it going, buddy?
I'm good.
That's good.
I want to ask Nightstar, are you for or against Trump? Are you like, is he like his policies are good? Is his policies bad? Or are you like somewhere in the middle?
From what I've heard about him, because I can't speak on facts because I don't really know the full story, but from what I've heard, I'm against.
Okay.
Real quick, just so I can fix the stream. Haxorus, you don't plan to turn on your camera, do you?
No.
Okay, so I can put the you hopped in and now the Deathstream logo is like covering half of my camera, so I'm just gonna move it over to your side since your camera's not on, and that'll fix the issue. There we go.
This is why we need immigration. Can we letting all these people just jump into the Discord call?
Yeah, I have to deport Hoaxing Haxorus from my Discord.
Anyway, what I'm trying to just figure out where you would align yourself on like the American political spectrum, I guess.
It's
so
like
what policies.
I wanted to ask
policies do you disagree with?
To expand on what you're saying, is politics there split into the left and the right, or is it kind of referred to in different terms?
You see, I don't really know how it's all sorted here because I haven't ever partaken in any of that or looked into it myself. I just know that sometimes there's candidates and some people vote for them. I don't know if they're called. Yeah, I know it's gonna sound a lot like the presidency, but
well, you got the prime minister, I'm pretty sure. But
Yes,
then
the
you
prime
also have the crown, which isn't elected, which I do believe is his own branch of government, is it not?
Don't they not have any
It is,
power
yeah.
anymore? Really, the royal family?
The royal family.
Just gonna fucking Google this shit. Hold on, because now I want to know.
I'm pretty sure they do have power.
I was under the impression that the royal family was kind of just figureheads now, and the prime minister was really running the show.
I mean, aren't they figureheads?
The monarch has personal choice to dismiss or appoint a prime minister.
Okay, so the people, the power that the royal family has is sometimes the people vote in a guy and they're like, no, and then you can't have that guy.
Yes, it's like, hey, and people are voting freaking. I know he's American, but as an it would be an example if you because I can't think of anyone British. It would be like say, hey, we want The Rock for prime minister, and then the Queen is or the King now is just like, no.
So I did like 2 seconds of research. So just know that I used Google at once, so I could be wrong, right? What I'm reading right here says the monarch approves laws passed by Parliament, but this is a formality, and no laws have been refused since 1708. The monarch appoints the prime minister, but they must choose the leader of the political party that has the most support in the House of Commons. And they also retain powers like dissolving parliament and declaring war. But in practice, these are only exercised on the advice of the government. So it's like yeah, they have power technically, but they just don't use it.
Yeah.
It's like
Sounds about right.
and then we give like a bajillion tax dollars to make sure that they don't have to wipe their own ass.
That might change some point soon, though. Don't quote me on this. Because the Queen has been alive and in power for bloody decades, and it's not recent anymore. But a while ago, she passed.
Mhm.
The king came into power. So unless he wanted to make new changes, things might, shift a bit. I don't know.
That makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. Like, you got a new guy in power. He may decide that, hey, fuck this last 100 years. It's my time, baby, until I die in like 5 years because I'm like 100 years old too.
Yeah. And
So based off what you've heard of Donald Trump, what policies do you don't support? And is there any policies that you do? I know you don't know much. Just give a general idea.
I don't know much, but I've heard about how I've heard he's incredibly sexist, and I've heard he's incredibly racist, especially towards Mexicans. So
Wow.
And now watches Brad dismantles this very reasonable take on Donald Trump.
well, no, like it's not even that. Like the sexist thing, I'm actually like I can see how people believe that. I disagree, but I can see how people come to the conclusion. The Mexican thing is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason to believe that.
I don't know.
Enlighten me, Riley.
I don't know if there's no reason to believe that.
Enlighten me, Riley. Explain this to me.
And I mean, I think that okay. I think you can make the points that Trump is making without necessarily being racist against Mexicans, but the way that he's making them is not helping his case.
What does he say?
Like the very famous speech where he's like, they're rapists, murderers, some of which I'm sure are good people. It's like there's a more delicate way to say what you're trying to say.
He's not saying any particular group is that. He's saying, we have all of these illegal immigrants that are coming across the border, and some of the illegal immigrants are rapists, murderers, which is true and not true to an extent. I mean, it's not as bad as he makes it seem. Politicians do that anyway. Whether it's Trump or anyone else, like politicians make their problems seem worse just because they want people to go vote for them because they want their issues to be like big, right? So I don't think that's a uniquely Donald Trump problem as far as like we're gonna take a small issue and we're gonna blow it up. But no, so where people call him racist is the majority of our immigrants are Mexicans. All right, or let me rephrase it. I'm gonna say Latin Americans because I think that's more appropriate, right?
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily because of the reason why we have more Latin American immigrants more than anything is just for geography reasons, right? Like when you look at a map of the world, right? Latin America is below us, and then Canadians don't really like America as much, so like they're not gonna move down. So all the people are moving from bottom up. That makes sense. So, but like he's like, so basically we haven't been enforcing immigration very well the last 4 years, and so he's like, we're gonna deport all the people that have come here illegally, and we're gonna go and we're gonna like have strong borders, and we're not gonna let drugs run through our country, and we're not gonna do these things, right? And then people have called him racist for that. Oh, you just don't like Mexicans. I don't think that's true. But anyway, you can continue if you'd like.
I think it's a matter of interpretation. For me, it's like maybe he's not racist against Mexicans, but it's like he doesn't make it look good for himself.
Oh,
Is
oh, and to his point, he said that everybody calls him sexist. The reason why they call him sexist is because he didn't get convicted. All right, so here in America, you have criminal courts and you have civil courts, right? So, to be convicted in a criminal court for major crimes, you have a judge, but you also have what's called a jury. Okay, so you have 12. It's supposed to be 12 regular everyday Americans. They describe it as a jury of 12 of your peers, right? But they select these 12 people. They have nothing to do with the court people, right? And let's say you go one day and you check the mail. Sometimes you'll get summoned to go be on one of these juries. And 12 random people have to say, without a shadow of a doubt, you did this crime, right? The reason why I'm making this, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when he was I don't want to say convicted because that's the wrong word. When he was not even found guilty, like he lost a court case, and it was about like sexual assault on this woman, but it wasn't a criminal case. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, but it wasn't a criminal case. It was a civil case, which means that it was just a random. It was, I don't want to say random. It was just a judge and not a jury that convicted him. All right. And the reason why that matters a little bit, at least in my opinion, a lot of people don't like to bring this up on the left, right? But he lost his court case in a state that is politically way different than him. So you have like the right and the left of politics, right? The state he got convicted, he lost his court case in was very, very far left, right? So did he do it? Maybe, right? But I don't feel like it's like this definitive proof that people try to make it out to be. It's not a good look. I just want to stress the point that whenever you have an argument that you're trying to make, you have to point out the bias of it, right? And to sit there and a lot of times, a lot of people like to ignore bias. All right, if you can't even acknowledge the bias, it's ridiculous.
Well, at the end of the day, it's like it's hard to prove a lot of things. It comes down to what you choose to believe, and you choose to believe the things you believe based on the evidence that you've seen. What I don't know anything about that particular case with Trump and this woman, but what I do know is there's a whole lot of pictures and other sorts of things out there linking Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. There's also a lot of pictures out there linking Trump to Diddy. So my money's saying that Trump's a child rapist. So I'm also willing to believe he sexually assaulted a woman.
Not only that,
I don't even care what
did-
happens to Donald Trump, honestly.
Okay.
There are some.
Because all the bullshit he be doing, talking about some build a wall to block the Mexicans. And yet I'm just had to choose the decision to choose a guy who barely doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with himself. He
Yeah,
just sleeps all day.
well, thankfully we got rid of that guy, but unthankfully it took us too long. So we fucking fumbled the bag and put somebody in there who had no fucking business being in there, and she got destroyed.
Joe wasn't even that bad. He really wasn't.
Joe
wasn't
is
good, but he
not
wasn't
bad.
fucking
Joe was not a bad president, but Joe is declining mentally, and this much is obvious. So it was completely selfish and completely retarded of him to run again. And he ended up having to drop out, and that was always going to happen. And the fact that he waited that long to do it is what lost us the election. So I'm a little upset with Joe Biden. Because he shouldn't have run for re-election at all. There should have been a normal Democratic primary where we actually could have put the best person for the job in the line. And none of that happened because Joe Biden is stubborn and campaigned for a presidency that was never going to happen under any circumstances for like a year. before finally giving up right at the end. So we had to fucking piece together an administration with Kamala, and it didn't work, and we got raped in the polls. And that's what happened.
Yeah, speaking of, the one thing I will say about the whole Trump situation of what he's apparently done, hasn't he gone on record to say some really disturbing things about his own daughter? Like, wasn't that a thing?
He did say like something to the
Angela.
effect of like, if she wasn't my daughter, I would marry her, something similar to that.
He said it in the most weirdest way possible, but he was basically saying, "My daughter is a beautiful woman."
Look, man, look. I
Like,
really
you can love your daughter,
listen.
but like,
Here's what I'm gonna say. I really want to fuck Ivanka Trump, and if I was Ivanka Trump's father, I don't know if that would change that. So you know, I can't. I'm kidding. But
I didn't know you were from Alabama.
He's from
sweet home
he's from
Alabama.
he's from Florida, which is basically Alabama. Florida is just Alabama with alligators.
And then you
Okay.
find them all them alligators.
For alligators.
If only.
See,
If only they
in
were fur
Florida, when you want to
alligators.
rob your local in Florida, when you want to rob your local gas station, you don't go for a gun or a stick. You just grab the local alligator and you just run in there.
And just wrestle
Have,
it.
have an alligator. Give me the money.
Just hold it by the tail.
I've got an
and run
alligator.
it.
You cock the
Oh.
alligator.
Oh, that's a real news. That's a real news story, by the way.
Somebody cocked an alligator
The
Oh
phrasing
no,
of
somebody robbed a gas station with an
with
alligator.
an alligator.
It's
How the fuck
happened.
do you do that?
Well, see, you take an alligator and you walk in there and you say, "Hey,
Give me
Give
all
me
your
money.
money, or I'm
An
gonna
alligator."
make this alligator eat
I'm gonna
you.
release this croc.
I have an alligator. I will put it
I
loose
will
if
let
you
the
let me.
alligator go.
Everybody get down! He's got a gator!
You think this happens in Australia? Like, look, I got a fucking big ass spider. Give me the money.
I got a crocodile!
No, I got a giant kangaroo.
Look at
They just like have a
Australia.
kangaroo.
Dude,
and just sit there and
kangaroos,
threaten
bro. Kangaroos are like the scariest thing in the world. Okay,
you.
kangaroos.
No, the males are terrifying.
Here's the thing about kangaroos. They're like hardwired in their brains to murder. Like if you're
only
swimming next to a kangaroo, it is in their instincts to try to drown you. If you swim
It's only the
if you
dogs.
swim next to a kangaroo, he's going to drown you. If he's going to try at least.
But they
It's-
only
it's
do it to
crazy.
like dogs though. The one thing I do not like about them is that there's sheer amount of bulk on them.
They're
Because, like,
they're buff motherfuckers. They'll punch you
So
not
listen,
punch you, kick you.
or kick you, yeah.
listen. So listen, me and my friends talked about this, right? So imagine you got like a SEAL Team 6, but of just kangaroos, right? Like you train them how to have like shotguns and shit. And like imagine you're like your little terrorist in your little warehouse, right? And then in comes 6 fucking kangaroos. 6'4", fucking jacked, and fucking military gear to come in and come rock your shit. Right? Like tell me I'm not going somewhere with that. That has to be something that we have to get on. Like we spend all this money on our military. Why do we not have combat kangaroos?
Combat kangaroos,
we spend-
you might have something.
Australia. No, I think Australia had like a sport where you could box kangaroos, but they stopped.
Dude, how does the Australian army not have kangaroos in it?
Hold on. Knight
No,
is trying
Australia
to
literally
say
lost the
something.
war.
The British man is trying to say something. Go
Oi.
ahead.
Yeah. About the whole kangaroo right gear thing. The only thing I was trying to say was somebody get on that, draw that. I want to see a fucking sketch of 6 kangaroos in riot gear holding shotguns, busting down a door. I want to see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you know that SWAT meme where like you have the fucking SWAT people just we just need that with kangaroos.
Exactly.
Animals in the military is not a new thing. There's obviously plenty of dogs in the military. There have been bears in the military. We gotta get some
Dolphins.
kangaroos in the military.
So listen, all right. What's it called? I also want to point out that Australian wildlife has already won wars before, right? They won the
Yeah.
emu war. So why can't we have kangaroos? Like obviously all their fucking wildlife is ready for war already. I don't feel like they need that much training. They already kicked the Australian military's fucking ass. Honestly, that could be their number one export. Guard kangaroos. I feel like I'm going to save their economy. I feel like they need to hire me.
Yeah, I think this
I'm
is a
going
good
somewhere.
idea.
I'm all for
I-
this.
I stand by this idea.
Okay, so Nightster, real quick. I do want to get into the Elon stuff. I also have some good news for Brad that I meant to share earlier. So remind me to share that soon. But first, Knight, what I want to know is what you do know. What's going on? Who's prime minister right now, and what's he about? Can you tell us that?
Last time I heard, it was that one guy with the. It's gonna sound weird, but it was that one guy with the kids. British. It might have changed.
Hold
You
on.
see,
Hold on.
the most
Hold on.
interesting thing
Hold
we're
on.
learning about British politics right now, and the most fascinating thing, is the fact that over there it's possible to not know what's going on, which in itself is impressive, because in the United States that's not the case. There is not a single human being who does not know
Yes,
how
there are. Yes,
who the
there
president
are.
is, because
It's true.
politics is such a clown show here that like it's like pro wrestling. Everybody, the Donald Trump is like the same as John Cena. Like we all know Donald Trump's the president because it's all like WWE posturing bullshit.
Riley, have you ever seen Donald Trump enter one of his rallies? Because I see him all the time on TikTok. They literally sound him off like he's a WWE character. And not anymore because he's not like campaigning. But when he was campaigning, like he'd come to a rally and you'd have this girl going, "Now, your next 47th president, 6'4", 300 pounds, Donald J. Trump," and then he'd come out. He's like, "Yeah." Have you not seen that?
No, but well, yeah, I've seen people cheer for Trump as he comes into a rally. Yeah, for sure, exactly. It's fucking pro wrestling. Whereas it seems like in the UK, it's like there's this guy and he's like, I'm gonna do A, and then there's this other guy and he's like, well, I don't want you to do A, I'm gonna do B. And then people vote based on that, and then politics happens, and if you don't care, then you don't know. which is very fascinating because that does not happen, but maybe it does in isolated cases. I know you tried to refute me, Brad, but for the most part, I would say the majority of the population, even people who give like zero fucks even a little bit about politics, know our president is Donald Trump and knew our president
Yeah, they know our
was
president.
Obama and knew our president was Biden because politics is such a dog and pony show here that it's like unavoidable for the most part.
I'll show you how.
And it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll show you how politics is done over here. It's you turn on the TV, and all you see is the current prime minister. They do this with some papers, and then they start talking shit about who they are, what they're doing, the policies they're changing, and you just turn the channel over because you don't care and you want to watch your freaking sci-fi shit or whatever you do.
What kills me is earlier when he was describing politics over there, he was like, so you got candidates and you vote for them.
It's basically
And
it is basically like the presidency, except less of a dog and pony show, which it sounds like you guys might have the right idea over there.
I listen to this Australian guy all the time, and he talks about what's it called, politics over there sometimes. And it sounds like that's other countries. Like other countries, you just got these politicians, and no one really gives a shit about them. But when they talk, they're just like, so yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. So vote for me. And then like no one cares, so they don't really pay attention.
Yeah. In fact, I looked up who the prime minister was because I didn't know. I don't even recognize his name. Apparently, it's someone called I don't know how you fucking say that. Keir Starmer.
And you
Keir
see,
Starmer?
it spreads even wider than I even gave it credit for. Because Knight did not know who the British Prime Minister was. He knew Donald
knew
Trump
Donald
was the
Trump,
president
baby! He
of the
knew Donald
United
Trump,
States.
Felon president, baby! Felon president, baby!
I thought it was still that one guy. History. What was his name?
That one guy. Fuck, I
That
don't
guy.
know.
I saw his face.
That guy.
Boris Johnson. I thought it was.
Oh yeah,
Boris Johnson.
I heard about Boris.
Yeah, everybody's heard about that guy.
Everybody knows about
Yeah.
Boris. I feel like you're being sarcastic, Brad, but I do actually remember Boris Johnson.
No, I'm being for real. Like everybody knows about that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So American politics is just such like this big event that like it permeates even farther than your own politics in some countries apparently. So that's a sight to behold. But regardless, I
in the past.
I do want to talk about Elon. But first, Brad, I do have some good news for you. So, for those of you who didn't know, the trans fat experience is back. It finally happened. We kept saying it was going to be back for like 2 weeks and that it wasn't back. And now it's actually back. We did an episode. And at the very tail end, I did bring up Demi Gloom's refusal to debate you. And what she told me is she simply did not know enough about some of the topics that you pitched her, so she wasn't interested in debating some of them. But she is willing to debate you about trans issues and other such things she actually does know enough about. So if we iron that out, we can get a Brad versus Demi Gloom debate going on the death stream. It is in the air.
The biggest things that I want to argue with her about is free speech. What else is there? Hold on. Let me look at the list of topics I sent. Because I sent her a list of topics. I mean, she obviously should know enough about free speech and what her position is on free speech is.
I think she could probably do free speech. You'd have to iron out with her what she does and doesn't want to talk about. But I figured I would let you know, like, yeah, she is down to debate. We just got to iron out which topic she actually is able to debate competently by her own.
I would also debate her. I would also debate her on this idea that I one of the topics I gave her was people can change their gender, and that should be a protected right. However, I believe there is a difference between gender and sex. Trans people exist, but to pretend there isn't a difference between the sexes is nonsense.
I feel like that might even be like something Demi Gloom agrees with, but maybe I'm giving her too much credit. I don't know.
Well, this is like this statement is my justification for keeping like trans women out of like men's sport, or sorry, trans women out of women's sports.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want them to like be themselves and do the things that they want to do, but we've literally this is a terrible way to put it. This is a mean way to put it, but I described women's sports as almost kind of like a handicap league, right? Because we've created this separate league that is specifically for them to compete.
Yeah,
because they couldn't compete in men's sports. It's like, and again, this is a really terrible way to explain this, but it would be the same thing as like the Special Olympics, right? Like we've created specifically a thing to let a certain group of people to do it, right? The only reason why I'm comparing the two is because like I don't know.
Let me save you here. So rather than comparing it in that way, I don't have a comparison to make, but how you could describe it is. So I was under the impression only recently did I start to see some of the leftists that I run with be like very pro trans women and women's sports. I was under the impression that even like trans people were like, yeah, that's one where we can like, because like there are inherent differences in like the bone density of people with different sexes assigned at birth that affects like athleticism. So it seemed like the temperate take, even amongst trans people supporters, up until very recently, was keep them out of women's sports because it's just like not fair. Not that every woman is less athletic than every man, but in
Hold on,
those types of situations, the difference in
the
bone
1%.
density
Like
for the male
when you talk
gender.
about, hold on, I just want to say, when you talk about things like the NBA, you're not talking about the average man or the average woman. You're talking about the number one woman, or sorry, the number one, like 1%. This is the way I would describe it. Hold on. I actually have a perfect diagram of how I would describe it. So look. So imagine this is the potential
Nigga, what the
of
fuck?
all men. Hold on. Imagine this is the potential, my pen, of all men, and this is the potential of all women, right? So the majority of like women and men are is somewhere in this middle. Does that make sense? So like really men and women when it comes to sports and athleticism and most things, smarts, all this stuff, we're right here in this middle. The issue with sports in general is that you've got men that are pushing to the top 1%. And when you talk about the top 1%, like or even like the top, I'd almost go as far as say like the top like 5%, right? When it comes to athleticism and sports and stuff like that, women can't compete. Like the number one men are just far better than the number one woman. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And it comes down to like bone density and other biological differences like that. The
I
point.
have a hold on. One more thing. I have a better analogy. I want to bring it. It's like JV and varsity basketball, right? So if you're in JV and you can handle varsity, that's fine. But we've created a league where the people that are younger and smaller can compete and not have to worry about having to deal with people that are bigger and stronger. That way they can develop and grow and have certain opportunities that are afforded to everyone.
Yeah, and it's like I don't see why. I guess probably doing estrogen would put you at a disadvantage. But like if you're willing to go one way, I feel like you should be willing to go the other. Where like why not just play men's sports? Like I could see a world where trans women play men's sports and they're still referred to as women. Their proper pronouns are respected. They're referred to as women within the sport, within the reporting on the sport. But they were born with a penis, so they got to play the men's league. I've
So the thing is, Riley, is that in like college and on the lower levels, you actually do see that. You actually do see men that has transitioned to women play in men's sports. It's I don't think there's ever been one in like the top 1% that have gone like to like the NBA or the NFL or the MLB or any like the major ones like that. Um, but on a small scale, you do that. What you don't see though is you don't see a female that has transitioned to male play in these high level sports. You've never seen it.
that
You've never seen
would
anyone. You've never seen a.
I feel like testosterone could almost be seen as something akin to steroids in a sports
Nigga,
environment. Whoa! Where'd that come from?
nigga, what?
Okay, well, we didn't hear the what part, so it just sounded like you said an errant N word out of nowhere.
I was just playing a game and I'm just getting mad.
Well, try to temper
What?
yourself a little bit.
Yeah,
Hoaxing Haxorus
actually,
is black, but like the robots
yeah,
don't
I'll
know
prove it
that.
though. Like, hold up.
You don't have to prove you're black. It's fine. We believe you. Don't accidentally dox yourself trying to prove you're
That was so
black.
out of
No,
left
I'm trying
field.
to
We're
show my
sitting there
hand.
and we're talking about trans people, and he's like, we're like, whoa.
Actually,
whoa.
yeah, I'm gonna mute myself real quick.
Okay.
I
I'm
felt
gonna
like I
take
got
this
hit by a
one.
stray bullet. I was like, oh,
Like, whoa!
I'm I'm gonna take this break in the main conversation as a chance to dip because it's getting late for me. So, because again, I am in the United Kingdom. I am hours ahead. So
what? There's a whole other side of the planet? What are you talking about? Thought the Earth was flat.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
fuck are you talking about?
it's fucking midnight for Nightsters. So I appreciate you hanging
Yeah.
out for as long as you did. And you have a wonderful night, buddy. Megazord Radio coming soon, where you'll hear Nightster's
hate.
voice, hopefully every week if we can set a date.
Yeah, that weekend probably.
Well, I'm not gonna
You're-
be
you're
off
a-
on the
you're a-
weekends coming up, so but we're gonna have to iron it out.
You're a chill dude, Nightster.
Yeah, and you. Hope to I'll be able to get onto more of these in the future, but we'll see.
Yeah, Nightster comes on my weekend daytime streams when it's not midnight for him, like it is right now.
I can, what's it called? If we ever get into another call again, I can sometimes talk a little bit too much, so you can just tell me to shut up. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. So just keep that in mind.
We probably should have told you to shut up a little bit more during that last detour ahead. But what are you gonna do?
Cam back.
If I see him streaming, I just pop in, crash.
Which is good because we want Riley's career to take off. He's chill. He needs to be better. He's just kind of okay at his stuff, but he could one day be good if he puts more effort and fixes his computer.
I'm so tempted.
My computer is literally laggy right now as we speak.
I'm so tempted to have the cringiest fucking Toku-based outro of this stream ever.
Yeah. Give us a nice henshin call or something.
Why y'all do that? I have to use the bathroom, so I'm gonna run. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Okay, right. Okay, I don't know what one to do. I've been watching a lot of Mighty Morphin, so maybe freaking Tommy's, I guess.
Tommy?
You don't know about Tommy? What you know about Power Rangers, Hoaxing Haxorus?
I remember the show. I just forgot who's Tommy. Is it like the green one?
Yeah, that's like the most legendary
yeah, I
Power
remember him.
Ranger.
Yeah, he was my favorite. Yeah,
He's
that
awesome.
was my favorite.
And then
Yeah, that's the cool one. Yeah, he was the one with the dragon, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then the black one.
He was a lot of different things, but most know him as the green one with the dragon, which is a pretty dope suit that he has.
Yep, and the actual, I think the main Power Rangers show I probably watched was Mighty Morphin, and mainly a lot of them, the one with dinosaurs in them. I just can't remember because there's just so many.
Well, yeah, there were a couple that have dinosaurs in them. There's the Mighty Morphin had dinosaurs, and then there's Dino Thunder and Dino Charge are the other two.
Yeah, I think just a lot of them just had something to do with dinosaurs, I think.
Yeah.
And Dino Thunder had Tommy in it as well.
Oh yeah, that was the one I watched, I remember.
As the Black Ranger. Alright, so do I do just his green, or do I just speed run all of them?
Do all of them. Why not? Can you remember them all? Let's see.
Wait, me?
No, Nightster.
Oh, okay.
I have a feeling you might forget one, Nightster, but we're gonna see. Do them all.
Okay, right. Dragonzord.
Good. That's one.
Tigerzord.
That's two.
Oh, we need Ninja Ranger power now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, then they did that, yeah.
And then making sure I'm not missing one from there. Okay. Well, and there's also technically White Ranger power.
I thought you were about to skip White Ranger power. You almost skipped it.
Almost skipped it, but I didn't.
Wait, there was a white one?
Yeah, Tommy becomes the white one. He loses his green powers and then he becomes a white one.
So he just becomes so he gets his green, so he just gets bleached, so he just becomes white.
Well, it's a different suit, but maybe there was some bleaching involved.
Yeah, and then there was
also
Zero Ranger 5 Red.
Okay, good.
And then I shift in the turbo.
It's weird how good you're getting the choreography on this.
Bro, I practice this.
I'm a little impressed.
I know all the calls, but I could have done all the choreography. Like I don't know what they do in Zio. It's kind of like they go like this and this. and then
It's left
it's like
hand
this and this.
right hand up.
Left hand, right
I
hand.
think
Left hand, right hand, and then with the right hand you go curl it up to that, and then you bring your left hand to that.
yeah, I
Okay.
think you do that.
Bang, bang, and then zero range of 5, and then you cross and you go down.
Okay.
Wait a minute,
And
wasn't there like a Power Rangers show with like cops?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that was
that was,
SPD.
Yeah,
emergency.
it was weird, but I still
And then-
liked it.
And then the final one that Tommy did was, obviously I can't do a backflip, but it was
Yeah, cause you're in a room.
yeah, and I can't backflip anyway.
Yeah,
Wait,
me too.
Dino Thunder power up. Dang.
Dino Thunder, power up! He always goes. Everybody else goes ha, and he just goes like.
Except for Trent, he doesn't say ha. He just goes, White Ranger.
I feel like he usually says ha even after that.
He doesn't.
I feel like he usually says like White Ranger, Dino Power, ha. Am I really remembering that wrong?
You are. He doesn't once say it.
Yeah, he never did.
You don't know. Stop acting like you know, Oxygaxorus.
Well, I watched too many Power Rangers when I was a kid, and it's just embedded into my memory.
Yeah, but I've watched most of it recently, so I know it intimately.
Ranger.
There you go. Good job, Brad.
I'm back.
Yeah, that's the main one I remember.
I could do the choreography for any season, I bet you.
Okay, then do the one that hold up.
Yep. I put up.
I might have to look up the name. I know what it is. I forgot the name. It was the one with all the mythical stuff in it.
Mystic Force?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, right, where they had like a black guy in
it. A lot of them have a black guy in it.
There was a guy that had like yellow, purple, and black in him. And he had like a horse.
I like when we include one black
Korag.
guy in our TV shows.
Korag, yeah. Okay, so it was like I had to get their flip phones, bang, flip it open, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, because we just of course need a flip phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Power Rangers Morphers were like exclusively flip phones for like 8 years.
Yeah, because SPD was a flip phone. Mystic Force was a flip phone. Operation Overdrive was kind of a flip phone.
I think Mystic
open.
Operation Overdrive was a flip phone. Fucking, and I guess it was just like 3 years then, because I don't even know if I would describe SPD as a flip phone. Now that I think about it, like it wasn't really a phone.
A flip phone. A walkie-talkie, maybe.
Because like there wasn't like phone buttons under there. It was like just like the guilty innocent thing. Like I wouldn't call that a phone morpher.
It kind of looks like one though.
It's kind of in the shape of one. Brad's on a very important business call right now. Let's read his lips. What's he saying? I suck and I'm bad. I couldn't think of a joke that actually fit the lips. I'm sorry. I've ruined it.
I'm looking at Miltank.
No, I'm trying to find a very funny joke right now.
Okay.
I don't know. Wait.
Where are the Chaos Emeralds? You were supposed to get me the Chaos Emeralds.
Damn, okay, I couldn't find the 4th Chaos Emerald.
Let's test your Disney era knowledge, Riley, and my choreography.
I mean, you got it right.
Which one is this? If I freaking
okay, based on the choreography as Nightster does it. Oh yeah, that's Cam. That's Samurai Storm Ranger form.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't even really tell. They all of them look almost the same, but there has to be a little difference because they all do something different with the little thingy that they have. Like they have the like the walkie-talkie. They do something with it. They all have their things.
This
they
one
get
is not
their
really.
their suits just merge with each other.
There's so much that they do in this one that I don't think you could mistake it for another one.
Guys, we gotta stop talking about Power Rangers before Brad kills himself. I can see it in his eyes.
You're just gonna kill
Yeah, I
himself
have
of
nothing
pure
to contribute to
boredom.
this conversation, but that's okay. My roommate called me over some dumb shit, so
He didn't get you the
Weird
Chaos
how that was
Emeralds.
Hold
gonna.
on. Wait,
I
can I
wish how.
share my screen?
No, that will destroy everything.
anyway, what
Yeah,
were you
weird.
saying, Knight? We couldn't really hear you.
Weird how the whole, morphing choreography was gonna be my outro from the stream, but it
Yeah,
kind of
yeah. Give us an outro
Yeah.
one, and then get out of here.
How many can I do?
Yeah, he said he was gonna leave, and that was like 3 hours ago, and he's still here, which is crazy.
It's not been
Like 10
three.
minutes.
That hasn't even been an hour for the whole
Like 10
stream.
minutes. Okay, right. I've got to think of one I haven't done yet, which is a lot.
There's a lot you
Okay.
haven't done.
Okay, right. I'm gonna end it on a banger.
Oh,
If I do this and you manage to figure out what it is mid transformation, then I know that I've been watching it too much.
Okay.
I'm probably not gonna get it.
What the oh, is this Dino Charge?
Samurai.
Is it the
Samurai.
samurai one? Is it the samurai one?
I think Riley got it at some point.
I said
heard Riley
Dino
talk about
Charge. Yeah.
it. Yeah, you got it there.
Dino Charge is
Coaching
a
actress.
really good
Oh
one.
yeah. When I said a guess, you don't get to steal my guess. All right, you're fired.
You're not allowed to get
No.
coaxing Haxorus out. Only I have
Yeah,
such powers.
Well, that's a lie. I have the power. I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, you have the power. I would just take the power away if you did it. We love you, Knight. Goodbye.
Decided to take your power. You're fired.
You
Okay.
fired.
You're fired. Goodbye.
Goodbye to me.
Do you think the Fed's gonna listen to you? Yeah.
Everyone listen to me. I'm amazing.
I'm the best. I'm the best one. All right, good. Get out of here.
So about British politics, there's candidates, and we vote for them, and they have policies.
I got a bounce.
All right, bye, Knight. See ya.
We appreciate you telling us that stuff. All right, perfect transition to the story. I got a quick story I want to say, and then we'll talk about Elon Musk. All right.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know
real
how
quick.
your morning.
I don't know if
I don't know how-
I don't know if you want to tell
Go
the story to the audience or if you want to wait for me, because I have to piss. So you got to do something for the audience while I piss.
I'll do it for the audience. All right. I'll keep everybody entertained.
Yeah, keep them
Let me
entertained.
pull up YouTube, that way.
I'll be right back, folks.
Let me pull up YouTube.
Nobody's in chat right now, so I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna. They might be one day. Okay.
Okay, just be
The
prepared.
day I don't look is the day they'll be there.
Yeah, I'm just pissing and grabbing a Diet Coke, so I don't know if somebody's gonna show up in that time, but I might be wrong. So I'll be right
They
back.
heard me call women's sports a handicap league, and we went super viral. We have 1 million people in chat the day I don't look.
Well, yeah, what the fuck? How could you say that about women?
Or they heard us talking, and then a random N word was just dropped, and everybody's like, "Whoa, we gotta say."
Yeah, we're completely unrelated conversation, and here comes just like N-word.
What?
Uh,
Yeah, I will admit on my bit, I am sorry about that.
It's okay. You're black. You're allowed. All right.
Yeah, because I just keep forgetting. Yeah.
All right.
well,
thought I muted.
I identify as black, so I'm gonna say it anyway.
I'm gonna piss myself. So Brad, tell your story to the audience. I gotta go.
Well, you can't read it because my camera is shitty. But this right here is a receipt. Okay, I don't know how y'all's fucking morning went. Let me tell you about my fucking morning. All right. I woke up this morning. All right. I get dressed. I put deodorant on. Right. I go downstairs. I grab a soda from the fridge. Right. You gotta have your morning soda. I gotta have your Dr. Thunder. Yeah, everybody knows I love Dr. Thunder. It's the best soda. But anyway, so I have my Dr. Thunder, okay? And by my door, I have a table, All right. I put my keys on this table. I put glasses cleaner on this table. I have a stick of deodorant on this table. I have like things that, like, if I would forget, it goes on this table. Right. And I decided my glasses were dirty. So I set my soda down and I cleaned my glasses. And then I was running slightly late. So I was like running out the door. I was like, oh shit, I forgot my soda. Right. But I didn't make this realization. I didn't make this realization until I sat down in my car, started the car. Okay. So I put my keys in the cup holder. All right. I had put my phone in the cup holder. I was like, I'm gonna run inside and get this soda real quick, right? So I hop out of the car. I go get the soda. I come back, and my fucking door was locked because it locked itself. All right. Now I'm glad that my car doesn't want people to steal my car, but I need access to my fucking car. Okay, god damn it. You're not supposed to lock me out of the car. So I had to fucking pay $129 this fucking morning. It sucked. I gotta call my insurance. My insurance is gonna pay it back, but it fucking sucks. I had to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for fucking lunch instead of going to Chili's. I ain't got no goddamn money. Anyway, you were saying something, Axorus?
Yeah, the reason I'm just playing Pizza Tower right now on my Switch. I was just wanting to know if I could just show out what I was doing to get like a context of why I said it.
No, because it will destroy the stream. Because Riley has a shit computer.
Okay.
Uh,
But yeah,
so
Hmm?
this right here is a Baja Blast beer.
that's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. It's kind of inverted, but can you read it?
Zero sugar. Actually, not even inverted. I can actually read it really well. Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, zero sugar.
You can kind of read on the top. Hold on. It says contains
Yeah,
alcohol 18 plus.
I don't think I can see the 21 plus.
It's right,
But
right there.
that says 21.
Yeah, because you have to be 21 to drink alcohol.
I know.
There's a plus sign too on the very. Oh,
You say
Oh.
oh.
Sorry, my fault. I drank when I was 18, so if I mean, fuck me, it was fucking the law then.
I
Wasn't the
also
law,
I
but I mean,
actually
who
did
cares
not
about the
drink at
law?
18. I did, however, drink at 19, though, also out of the law age.
Well, when I was 18, 19, it is probably closer to 19. No, I had some at 18. Occasionally at the gas station, because I worked at this gas station, my coworker would scan his ID, and I would get a little shot, and I would put it in lemonade, and I would do the little. They're called 99. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's like 99. Is that Dr. Pepper? Root beer,
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Yep.
Damn it! I almost fucking had it. First try. Yeah.
First try.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, they're called 99. So they're 99 proof. So they're really strong, and they got like different flavors. They got like any flavor you can think of, like mint, fucking.
I'm very familiar with 99s. The root beer 99s, choice.
So what I like to do the first really drink that I would drink is at Casey's. I'd get me a big old like fountain cup of lemonade, and I'd throw a couple of like watermelon 99s in there.
Okay. Yes, my first experience was like I had like an evening of debauchery, as it were. I had already been smoking weed for some time, but I had never drank before. And I went to a buddy's house, and I wasn't even like a habitual smoker either at this point. Like I would just do it every once in a while when people gave it to me. So I was very green when it came to the drug scene in general. And then I went and like stayed over at a friend's house for a night, and like we had a bunch of people over. And I drank a bunch, and I also smoked a bunch of weed, and I also did half a tab of acid, and I also did whippets. So It was an eventful evening.
I've never done acid.
Really, I haven't either, because I only did half a tab and I was doing 8 other things. So, like, I have no idea what the acid actually did for me, if anything, because I was also very drunk and high on weed. And I only got half a tab because they were like concerned, because like sometimes acid like fucks with you the first time you take it. So they were concerned. So like you start with half a tab, and if it's not doing it for you and you want the other half, come and find me. By my friend. These were the terms I was given. And then I took the half tab, and nothing really crazy was happening. And it had to not even like an hour in, like a very short amount of time in. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll take that other half, and he's like, oh, I didn't think you would. I took that. So I only got half a tab of acid out of the deal, but I got drunk for the first time. I was also very stoned. Many shenanigans ensued. There was a point in the night where I was just like completely like zonked. And I had this like pub mix stat, like you know what a pub mix is, right? Like there's like the pretzels and like the little chips and like a pub
Never heard of
mix. You've never heard of pub mix?
No.
Not one time.
What the fuck? How have you lived and not heard of pub mix? Basically, it's kind of like Chex Mix, but it's
Okay,
in a
the thing
big
not
it's
heard of
it's
it.
in a big jar, and it's like a little it has some different stuff. So
Riley, we live in different countries. You live in fucking Florida. I live in Arkansas. We don't
I
have
live
that
in
here.
North Carolina.
I'm sure you have pub. I'm sure you can get some pub mix if you look for it. But
I'll just look at fucking Walmart. Hold on. Where's my phone? Oh, I'm fucking looking at my phone. Fucking. Shut up. Anyway, keep talking, Riley.
yeah, so I'm eating this. I'm just eating right out of this big jar of pub mix, and I'm chewing and swallowing in such a way that's like very exaggerated and goofy because I'm very drunk and high. And my friend Patrick, who was there, who's like my best friend in the whole world, he starts getting concerned, and he's that I'm gonna choke. And he turns to me, he's like, sit up straight. And I'm like, okay. And I just like obey his command without question. And then
Things you might be interested
and
in. Fucking thigh socks. No thanks. No.
still with the fucking thigh high socks. But yeah, he's like, sit up straight. And I'm like, okay. And I sit up straight, and then I'm like slowly slumping back down. And then he just goes, stop eating that. And I'm like, okay. And then I just closed it, stopped eating it. I was very
We do
uh
have it, by the way.
you do have it, okay. I was very vulnerable that night. I was commendable, so I'm glad that my best interest was in everybody's heart. But yeah, I'm glad to hear you have pub mix, Brad. You should get some in your life immediately.
So, now I want to talk about Elon Musk, right?
Sure.
So, there's this big Tesla boycott right now. All right.
Yeah.
And their stock is down year to date 36.54%.
Sure.
So that means the company has lost 1/3 of its value.
That's like actually insane that a boycott has been that effective.
Yeah, it's
That means it's actually good.
if you look at January 15th, which was their high for the year, and you compare it to their low, the company is down 48%. Now, recently, from March 10th to the 12th, it was up 11%, and from 12th to 13th, it's down 3%. I feel like it's going to go down further.
Maybe
think
that's
it's gonna
maybe
keep-
that's something to do with their CEO doing Nazi salutes for attention.
See, a lot of my friends, when I started getting into investing, everybody was like, Tesla, 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 right? I always said this. My biggest problem with Tesla is their CEO. Like, their CEO. Like, if you look at their stock price, it's crazy, though. But you can make a shit ton of money. Now, I probably will. So there's this guy, his name is Warren Buffett. Have you ever heard of Warren Buffett?
I'm somewhat familiar.
So Warren Buffett is one of the greatest American investors of all time. And he said you don't buy companies, you don't try to buy companies at a good price. You just try to find the best company you can find and you buy it regardless of the price. So when you find a company, right, it's better, he said it's always better to buy a good company at an okay price than a shit company at a great price. Does that make sense?
For sure.
So, but there's the stat, it's called the PE ratio. So a PE ratio of a company basically says that based off its current stock price, how many years would it take for their current earnings to pay back how much money the company is worth? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Even though the company is down 44% from December 27th to March 13th, okay, its PE ratio was still 120, meaning at its current evaluation, it would take 120 years based off of its current finances to pay off what it's currently worth. That's why I just can't buy the stock. Like it kills me. Like that stat right there, like it butchers it for me.
Yeah, no, that's definitely understandable.
So like,
I'm surprised to hear a boycott is that effective. Like, largely,
dude,
largely a lot of the boycotts that I've seen going on in society have been largely ineffective. Like a show that I listen to
it's not.
every Friday, Biggest Problem in the Universe. They have a recurring segment called Boycott of the Week, where they just talk about all these stupid boycotts that never do anything. But this one actually seems to have made some noise.
No, because like boycotts do work. Like the Budweiser stock, so blah 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 blah. Budweiser had a very successful boycott. Hold on, let's see here.
Not really, because they bounced back almost immediately. Like it can't have been
No.
this much.
Hold on. When was the Budweiser boycott?
The Budweiser boycott, which was like fucking retarded, by the way. Fucking stupid
April
conservative
2023.
bullshit.
I will say this though, the whole Twitter thing makes me so mad because like, get
Oh,
this.
hold on, 1 second.
Okay.
So the boycott was in April. April 28th, 2023 to October 27th, 2023, the stock was down 18%.
18%, and it's since bounced back.
Well, yeah, like, but the thing is with companies though is like they boycott them, but then like they don't. The boycotts don't last forever. Usually, the boycott is trying to accomplish something, and once the thing has been accomplished, like everybody goes back to it. Usually, not always. When it comes to Tesla, though, right? The reason why it's having such a big impact is it's not just Americans that are boycotting it; like all of Europe is boycotting it too. And then you've also got it's all over the news right now. Like people are taking like Molotov cocktails and like throwing it at fucking Tesla dealerships.
Oh my god, that's not
if
cool.
you own a Tesla, people are like blowing up your Tesla too. That's another problem. Like all across America, Tesla owners are getting their Teslas like destroyed. And that's not cool either, because you know these people are like regular everyday Americans, right? Maybe they bought their Tesla before the Elon Musk controversy, right? They just wanted to be green and help the environment or whatever. And now people are seeing that and go, "Oh, look at that fucking Musk report! I'm gonna fucking Molotov cocktail their fucking car." That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's absurd. Like, say what you want about Elon Musk, whether you think he's a Nazi or a retard or somewhere in between. Definitely don't be throwing Molotov cocktails at Tesla dealers. That's way too far. That's you. It's so far that it's unquantified. The word "far" isn't even appropriate anymore. We need a new word that's more intense than "far." Yes.
You're just a terrorist.
You're right. The word already exists. It's called terrorist. That's what's happening here.
What's it called? a lot of people are putting bumper stickers on their car that says, "I bought this before Elon became crazy."
I saw that, and that's pretty funny. I'll give him that. That's a pass. You see, because I think Cybertrucks look kind of awesome. So now, if I ever get rich, I can buy a Cybertruck, and then I'll just put one of those on there so that people think that I didn't buy it after he was a Nazi.
People are also
It's like, no, I've already
talking
had the
about-
Cybertruck for like years. What do you mean?
people are also what's it called? They're taking the Tesla decal, all right, and they're taking it off of the Tesla, and they're putting on like Honda or whatever thing to try to like camouflage their Tesla. What's it called? Yeah, it's just crazy. I just feel like it's insane. But I'm a stock guy, right? I know like we don't talk about the stock market much, and I don't want to make it a thing because I get autistic and I want to focus on this shit for like hours. But I feel like the stock is interesting because it's down 40%. And usually Riley, like a company like Tesla, like I do believe in like what it's doing as a business, right? Like you obviously they have a very successful product and they have a very successful business model, right? It's just their CEO is their problem, right? And it's down, in the stock market, it's buy low, sell high, right? So this is the opportunity, like as an investor, like this is when you'd want to buy a stock. But it's interesting to me because their PE ratio is still so ridiculously high, right? Like it's insane. It's literally insane.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna explain this in terms of a better term. Let's look at Ford stock, right?
Sure.
Ford, their PE ratio is 6.
And Tesla's is 102, you said?
118.
Oh my god.
Actually, I think I might head out in a little bit.
You're good. Whenever.
Let's see here. What's another one?
Wait, I remembered.
What do you remember?
Yeah, because like I think I remember. I don't know what year, but like I remember I was trying to find something to draw on Twitter, and then I was like confused. It didn't have the bird logo. Instead, it had the stupid X on it. And I'm like looking up on my phone. Turns out Elon Musk bought Twitter, and him being him, thought it'd be a great idea just to name it X.
Yeah, we did a whole episode on this kind of, but like, yeah, it is one of the most baffling things to ever happen in the history of time. But Elon
He
Musk
named
is
it
like,
after his son.
Elon Musk is like, let me buy one of the most lucrative, recognizable brands ever in the
That
history
just-
of time, and then
that
get
just
rid of the
so
brand
much.
part and make a new one on it.
Yep, and then like his son's names are just, or kids' names are just like, just weird.
It's like Kyle spelled like XYX7, like fucking whatever.
And then one of his kids have like those names have like, the A and the E merged together.
Well, Riley,
Yeah.
Nissan is 15, and General Motors Company is 7.
That's a crazy difference.
Now I will say that Tesla is what's called a growth company, meaning they're like trying to like innovate. And so sometimes with growth companies, their PE ratio is high because their earnings are low. But I feel like even then that is ridiculously high. Like I had a stock that had a ridiculous like PE ratio, but it's because they just earned they weren't profitable yet. They were in their like the development stage, and then when they became profitable, because their earnings were low, their PE ratio was like ridiculously high, right? So like the PE ratio is just one element of a stock that you look at. You have to put the PE ratio in context, right? But still, even then, right, the stock is down 40%. Before then, well, before it was down 40%. If you double the PE ratio, that's about where it was before it started crashing. So it was at like 200. That is expensive as fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
I think I might have to head up right now.
All right. Yeah,
Later.
talk to you later, man.
Yeah, bye-bye.
And like some PE ratios for some companies are high, and it kind of makes sense. Like Walmart's is 35, and then I have a real estate company that's 50. All right, but like 100 is crazy. After being down 40%, is crazy, crazy. That is wild.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Uh, what else? What else with Tesla? Oh, Elon Musk is on. When it comes to the White House, they announced that he's the number one. He's got his own Secret Service detail now because everybody wants to kill him. He's like the number one targeted person in the White House.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
I thought it was gonna be Donald Trump, but no, autistic car man. That's who we got to kill.
I mean, part of that is that's probably true. But I do find it funny that like he's obviously using it as an excuse to not take ownership of this child that he just pumped into this like conservative influencer 20 something chick. Where I'm ripping off the Dick Show here with this joke, but like he's just like, yeah, man, my enemies. I can't be putting my name on that birth certificate. My enemies are gonna come for me, and then what are you
Oh,
gonna
fucking.
do? My enemies, man. Whenever you don't want to take responsibility for something, you're like, come on, I can't associate with that. My enemies will come, and then it'll be a whole big problem.
Do you know why semiconductors are very important for America right now?
No, tell me.
Okay, so I'm gonna list some items, and I want to hear if you've ever heard of them. All right?
All right,
Have you ever heard of a cell phone?
unfamiliar. Never heard of it.
Familiar? What about a microwave?
Oh yeah, isn't that like I couldn't think of a joke in time. Yeah, I know what a microwave.
Uh, what about car?
Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar. I've heard of them.
Uh, what about alarm clocks?
Yes, of course.
See, these are all things that take semiconductors, right? They're
Whoa.
like super mega important for like electronics.
Sure.
Okay, more than half of the world's supply of semiconductors are with Taiwan. This is why when we were talking about World War III the other day, I told you like if China tries to take Taiwan, we would go to war over it. Not because we care about Taiwan, but because we care about our cars and we care about our computers, and we will go to war over somebody trying to fuck with that stuff, right? Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
for
Because like
sure.
if it not only does it help our phones go, but it helps our missiles and all the tanks and all the military shit. Okay, so it's like a thing. Well, since last time we talked, Donald Trump has announced that they're building a semiconductor factory in the U.S. It's going to be in Arizona. The Taiwan Semiconductor Company is coming to the U.S. and they're going to build a
Whoa.
factory in Arizona.
Wow.
Yeah, big W, big W. We're going to win so much, we're going to be tired of winning. Are you tired of winning yet? We got rid of all trans people. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah, great win that we did.
Yeah, fucking yeah. Slavery, yeah.
Yeah, great.
Racism.
Yeah,
Oh.
great. Oh, we're getting rid of people for illegal protests. Can you define illegal protest for me, Donald Trump? Can you tell me what an illegal
What are you
protest
talking
is?
about? Sarah, what are you talking about? Getting rid of people? Are you talking about that fucking idiot that's like go terrorism, and then they deported him.
I don't know about specific situations. I know about the Truth Social post that Trump made, talking about like deporting people and getting people in trouble for illegal protests. Which again,
Okay, no.
define that
So
for
right
me,
now,
Donald.
well, I can define an illegal protest. What about if
I can define an illegal
no,
protest, a protest where violence happens. But that doesn't seem to
I
be
give you
how they're
I
fucking
get
defining it.
I can give you no, I can give you another one, right? What about I think is it San Francisco? It's one of these leftist fucking cities over there on the coast, right? Every time something that they don't like happens, they just like all go on the freeway and just walk down the freeway. Hold on. I'm gonna find out which city this is.
I mean, yeah, the freeway shit is bad. It's annoying. Like, I can't really be that upset if somebody gets run over because, like, you brought it upon yourself. But I also don't think you should be deported for it. It's still a freedom of expression thing. It's annoying, and like you have the right to kind of like stop it from happening because it's interrupting commerce. But like, I don't think people need to be deported or like put in jail for it. Like, I don't think we need to go that far. Just like, maybe if we really can't get them off of the freeway, we gotta like put them in handcuffs and throw them in a holding cell for an hour. But like,
It's Los Angeles, dude. They always have like anytime anything happens, they flood the highways. They had one recently with immigration. It happened with George Floyd. Let's see here. Hold on. How many times? 5 years.
but like even while you looked that up, even beyond the illegal protest statement, like he's also like got into specifics about like about like he's basically said we're gonna deport legal immigrants who are doing Palestine protests. Like in no uncertain terms, in the most like, you know, peppered up politically okay way to say that. That's basically what he said.
Well, the thing is that a lot of people don't know this, but so when you're a green card holder, you're not a citizen just yet, right? So you're not technically like you're an immigrant, but you're not like a citizen yet. Okay, so there was a guy here recently. I don't remember his name, but I remember reading a little bit about it, and I remember seeing clips about it. So I'm not 100% informed. So don't like grain of salt, right? Grain of salt, right? But from what I understand, he was doing dumb shit, right? Like he was stopping college camp like people from going to classes, and he was the mastermind of these big huge protests that were pro Hamas, pro Palestine. All right, and they were he was actively interfering with people's ability to go to like class, and like he was being disruptive. He was protesting, but he was being disruptive to society. He was just out there with the fucking sign, right? And everybody is like,
Well, protests are
it's
kind
like,
of inherently supposed to be a little bit disruptive, or they're not
no,
really effective.
no, the whole point of protest is you go out there and you have sign and you do that, right? If 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 you're blocking highways or I'm trying to go to Walmart and you're just in the parking lot, like out there with fucking picket signs going, Sam Walton sucks. Sam, what I can't go get my groceries, right? That's ridiculous, right? Like that's not cool.
Yeah,
You're
no,
interfering with my
I
ability.
would definitely support it more. Like, I understand, like, kind of aggressively wanting to get that person to care about what you're doing, but like the C should definitely part. I wouldn't mind if they had, as they went through their path, your path, had to deal with being, you know, bombarded with the cause you're supporting. But you do got to make a path for them. I
Yeah,
think.
but that's the point with that's the point when they talk about like illegal protests, right? Like it's one thing if you're out there protesting, it's a whole nother thing if you're actively interfering with people's ability to just go about their day, right? Like I remember I was reading the story. This guy, he was on his way to his parole officer, right? And they were out there blocking highways, and he ended up having to go back to jail because they were out there blocking highways. And he was late to his parole office, right? Like when you sit there and you block highways, you interfere with people's abilities to go places and do things. You're not helping anybody. You're actively hurting people, innocent people, right? Maybe they're guilty, maybe they're not guilty, but you're not going out and finding guilty people. You're just harming everyone indiscriminately, and that's not okay.
For me,
But
I'm sympathetic with the desire to like make people care about your cause, because it could be really disheartening when you're campaigning and just like nobody cares. I don't think people should do it, but I am sympathetic, and I just don't think it's deportation worthy. Like the only thing you could tell me that I'd be like, yeah, deport that guy, is if an immigrant, attacked somebody in a protest. If they're just blocking a road, like, yeah, if they don't cooperate, throw them in a holding cell for like an hour. But like, don't deport them.
The thing is, Riley, if they are blocking a road, that is violence, right? Because let's say you have a fucking an old lady across town, right, that has a heart attack, and you have an ambulance trying to get through there, and you're blocking the highway, and that old lady dies, right? You killed her.
Okay, in that situation, there's a legal argument for like voluntary manslaughter or something that could be brought into court. But unless that's the case, then
no. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. Regardless of whether something that happens or doesn't happen, the fact that it could happen, right, should be prevented. It would be like Riley. If you were in the mall and I threw a chair over the window as a joke, and you didn't get hit, right, but you could have got hit. Right, like you actively should prevent people that are going around creating situations where people could get hurt and get hurt. Right.
If somebody threw a chair almost at me, I would not want them deported from the country.
Okay, I mean that's fair, but the point that I'm making is that it's the point that you're allowed to have that belief is what I'm saying. I don't agree, but I get it. But the point that I'm making, right, is that these people are going around and they're actively like interfering with people, and that's not cool. It should be condemned, right? Additionally, right, the case that I was talking about that I know just a little bit about is it was a guy. He was a green card holder, and he was actively supporting like terrorist groups, and he was inhibiting people from like going about their business, right? And Marco Rubio went and deported that guy because apparently there's a law where the Secretary of State can revoke green cards or something like that. Like we have a guy in a very high position somewhere that if he wants to, and he can like revoke your green card for no reason. He doesn't have to have a reason. He's one guy, but he has the ability to do it. Right? And he's done it for this one guy. And now everybody is sitting there talking about how the news headlines that you're seeing is oh, we're just taking random green card holders and pulling them off the street for protesting. That's not what he did. He took one guy that was supporting terrorist groups.
I'm not saying he did it. I'm not saying he did it. I'm saying he's going to do it.
Well, yeah, but the reason why he's saying that though is because of this particular news story. It goes back to this, right? You have these people that are out there, they're being fucking dickheads, right? I believe in that. I feel like if you're gonna come here, you have to be contributing to society, right? You shouldn't actively put yourself in a situation. You're a green card holder. You're not a citizen yet. You're a guest in our home. You want to eventually move into our household, but you're a guest in our home, right? How would you feel if I was a guest in your home, Riley, and I just kind of blocked you from your room? Like, oh, you want to go scream? Fucking pro oil, bitch. No, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you'd be like, listen, if you're gonna be this way, go the fuck home. Like, fuck you. Like, I'm trying to go about my
for me, it still comes down to an issue of freedom of expression because, like, I understand that they're not citizens, but here's the thing. Me and Mo had a similar argument on the MoCast recently when we were talking about Canadians booing the national anthem at a hockey game.
You can express that. There's nothing wrong with that. The difference between that and this is that Canadians aren't actively standing in front of shit going, oh, you want to fucking, like, survive and, like, do your, like, normal shit? Oh, fuck you, man. can't get to work on time.
But
It's
yeah,
late,
the
and feed your kids.
the
Fuck
blocking
you.
protest again. I agree they're bad. I agree they should be stopped. I just don't know if I agree that they should be so thoroughly quashed down to the point of deportation. But regardless of that point, like it can't. I just want to make the point that you know, I hear this sentiment where it's like, okay, the constitutional rights they're only for us. Seems to be this new sentiment that's around where I've always looked at the Constitution as this is a standard that ideally in a perfect world every country would have. And I believe in them as moral principles and values that I partake in myself. And I have the desire that everybody would be able to partake in, even if they are not a United States citizen. Sometimes they cannot due to laws in their neck of the woods. But I believe they should be able to have those rights. And especially if they're in our country, they should be able to have those rights.
And there's an asterisk there, and there's an asterisk there that says if you fuck with our boats or you fuck with the American people and you like bomb the shit out of us, we're gonna take these rules and we're gonna set them aside. We're gonna fuck your shit up.
Well, I mean, you could still legally prosecute somebody for bombing within the Constitution.
No. I'm talking. No. The joke that I was making is the only asterisk that should be, because I agree with you. Saying the only asterisk that should be attached to that is if you go to war with us, we'll fuck you up. We'll put our morals aside, and we'll. I like what that one general says. He goes, we don't want war, but we'll raise your son and daughters.
Yeah, you know.
But I'm gonna give you a counter argument, right? So if I'm in my home, I just do whatever the fuck I want, right? And if I'm rude to you in my own home, that's like my own prerogative. Like you could like leave, right? But on the flip side, right? If I go to your house, it's my moral obligation to respect your rules and to be a little bit more gracious than I would be normally, right? Like at my house, put my foot on the table, right? But at your house, right? I would just do that, right? Maybe I would ask first or like things like that. Like even though like you have these rights and you can do these things, but when you're in someone's other's home, there's like a certain level of duty and care that you go above and beyond what you normally would, right? That's the idea I believe that I kind of agree with. When you're a green card holder, you're in our house, right? And you shouldn't put yourself in a situation where you're out there doing dumb shit, right? You're here to gain citizenship and you're here to be productive, right? Your priority shouldn't be being out in the street somewhere. Fucking, I thought you were gonna go to work today, bitch. And you ain't gonna let you. Fucking, no, you're being counterinductive, right? And if you're gonna do that when this isn't your home yet, what are you gonna do when you actually have rights and protections, right? So I feel like you should try to walk on eggshells when you're in someone else's home, right? Like you know, hey, can I do that? Can I do that? Is this okay? Is that okay? Right? You don't go and just start doing shit. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I fully understand your argument. I just don't think that it applies at this large of a scale. I don't think that when it comes to an entire nation, especially like I said, these rights I feel are inalienable, and in a perfect world, everybody would have them. So I'm fully willing to allow an immigrant to have them. Full stop. Like whatever, they're in our house. But they're in our house and they get the same respect that we get because it's about like a nation and the right that it affords. It's not as simple as a guy and his house.
Well, I'll take it a step further, right? We don't even we don't even agree that our citizens should be able to do that, right? So why would we sit there and go, wait, we're going to punish you, but we're not going to send you home, right? It goes back to like when you're here, you should be extra careful to not get in trouble and to put yourself in trouble. Right? When you're doing that, you're actively hurting someone, and someone could get hurt.
Everybody makes mistakes, though. Everybody has lapses in judgment. Unless
judgment. Everyone has lapses of judgment, but I have never made a decision in my life that would prevent a woman from not feeding her kids, or preventing an ambulance from getting to an old person, or something that would actively kill someone.
Like I said, in situations where it actually causes death and destruction in that way, I would be in favor of, legal charges for those types of crimes. And in a lot of cases, if people died, it would be manslaughter, and that would definitely be a deportable offense. But if it's just you blocked a road for a minute, nothing happened, and the cops stopped you, I feel like there should maybe be like a couple strikes you get before we're deporting you.
Really, blocking the road is such a big, major deal. I just don't think you comprehend it. To me, that is something. To me, that is not a little deal. That is a big deal, because not only are you out there blocking traffic, right? Blocking traffic means that people don't get to work. People can't feed their kids. All right, that happens. That is when you block the road, right? You actively people. Somebody might have got fired from their job. Somebody could have you know, they're a single mom with 20 kids, and now they can't feed their kids, right? An ambulance, maybe the ambulance didn't come, but that could have happened, right? But regardless of the hypotheticals that could have happened, what did happen is you had thousands of people that were trying to get to work and couldn't get to work, and there's hundreds of people that probably couldn't pay their bills as a result of it. Because people are living paycheck to paycheck, Riley.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to
see, Riley, and this is the thing that I'll say, right? When it comes to the left, right? When it comes to an issue, and this happens on the right too. I'm not saying it's just the left, right? But when it comes to a protest, the left side, right? The left always sits there and goes, "Oh, but it was for a good cause, it was for a good cause, it was for a good cause," right? No, if we were out there blocking the streets because we wanted Joe Biden to stop doing something, it's equally as bad, right? So like it doesn't matter what you're out there protesting, how important, how unimportant, all these issues are irrelevant. The only thing that matters is that you were out there and you were stopping people from feeding their kids. You're out there preventing ambulances from getting to their places. You're preventing firefighters from stopping fires. You're preventing little Timmy. This is the most important thing, by the way. Little Timmy was on his way to go watch the newest Pokemon movie at the movie theater, and he missed it because you were out there protesting like a bunch of fucking dicks.
Yeah, that's definitely unforgivable. Death penalty in that case. But
Did you hear? Donald Trump is making it to where if you kill a cop, you get the death penalty, and it's a federal law. So it doesn't matter what state you're in. If you kill a cop, you're gonna get the ultimate price.
I mean, I don't know. I thought we were kind of just like getting rid of.
Agree.
I thought we were kind of getting rid of the death penalty, just like period. And now we're killing anybody who kills a cop. We've decided.
We've had this conversation before. I've always said we need to make the death penalty easier, and we need to make it faster, and we need to do more of it.
Why?
Why? Because hold on, I'm gonna read this to you. I'm gonna pull up the stats.
I mean, you're about to tell me about a bunch of like efficiency and financial stuff, I imagine. But
so hold on. It is actually cheaper to lock someone up right now, life in prison, than it is a death penalty. All right.
Oh.
And secondly, right? I feel like for like certain people, like because like some people are just they're animals. We can agree with this, right? Like some people just deserve to die.
There are some
right?
some people who cannot be saved. Yes, I can agree with that.
And we can also agree that it's just a matter of priorities for me, right? I want free healthcare. I want free college. I want a lot of free shit. I want my government to pay for that shit, right? What I don't want is some guy who went and murdered 20 people because I don't know, he woke up and had a bad hair day, right? To just get life in prison, and we just pay for him to just live in a box.
Yeah, in that case,
being in a box isn't a life to me. Like, it's not living, for one, and for two, right? I've heard people go, "Well, it's about the punishment. It's about that's petty. I don't care about that shit. Just get rid of them. Move on with our lives. Who cares about rapist Joe down the road?
You know, I
Get rid
mean,
of him.
in general, I think that killing anyone for any reason is kind of bad. But like,
No. No. If I'm in my house, right? Some guy busts the fucking door down and he shoots my mom and he's fixing to shoot me, right? No, I'm gonna shoot him. Fuck him.
no,
right?
yes, you are. But for me, I don't disagree with you. But for me, I would shoot him and then I'd go like, aw, that was like a whole guy though that I just killed. I had to do it, but it was, oh man, like he could have been somebody if he wasn't robbing people, and now I have killed him. Like there would
But
be
that's not-
some level of human, like, oh man, you could have been somebody and now you're dead.
It's a bummer. It's a bummer that he wasted his life, but that is not my problem. It's not my prerogative. I don't feel. I've always said like I try not to feel things for things I can't control. Right? Like, well, no, that's a bad way to put it. Because like if a tornado wiped out my house, I'd be like, oh man, that sucks. Right? Like I couldn't control that, but I feel bad. Right? So that's probably a bad way to put it. But the point that I'm making is like these people are actively making the choices themselves. I didn't force them to do anything. They are doing it. So it's not my fault. Right? I don't feel bad for somebody that are going out and doing stuff that isn't my fault.
Like for me, it's like the more you make it, the more slippery the slope becomes. Because like my heart's not gonna weep if some guy who like raped and killed 9 children gets killed. Like I'm not gonna be upset by that. But like, at what point is it like, no, wait a minute, this person, you know, did something very terrible and bad, but like, I think maybe they could be saved. I think maybe we could rehabilitate them, and it becomes just like, no, kill them.
I don't want it to. I don't want it to be too easy. I get that. That is definitely a concern, but it shouldn't be more expensive to kill somebody than it is to just keep them in prison for life.
No, you're right.
And second off, I feel like the fairest thing to do is that if a judge can't do that sentence, I feel like there should be some way where the jury has to agree with it. Right? If you can get 12 random people to sit there and go, you know what? That guy raped 5 people, and it's clear he did it. All the evidence is there. Yeah, sometimes humans are wrong. Don't get me wrong, right? There's always going to be that case where like we messed up, but that's just people in general. Like sometimes you have bad RNG. Sometimes you're born and you have cancer and you die, right? Sometimes you just die and it's out of your control, and that sucks. We want to prevent as much of it as we can, but I don't feel like you get what I'm saying. I don't feel like that is a justification for not having it. Is that sometimes we're wrong, because sometimes we're always wrong.
For me, I've always said, and like maybe there is a place for the death penalty in some cases, but like to me, the ideal legal system is like, first of all, the death penalty exists, and second of all, a life in prison sentence does not exist. Prison should be for rehabilitation. There's obviously people who cannot be rehabilitated, at which point it would become life in prison. But I don't think anybody should ever be sentenced to life in prison off rip. Prison should have prison should have a system where people are evaluated, and if people are actually making positive changes, and we are able to determine that they might not be a danger to society if we let them back into society, we should let them back into society. Like, I'm gonna say this, and maybe this is me being like gullible, and maybe he's still a scumbag and would just do it again when he got out. I think the guy who killed John Lennon should definitely be out of prison right now. And the only reason he's not is because Yoko Ono is strong-arming that fucking police department or legal system or whatever that is keeping that guy in there. Because he's just like an old man reading the Bible all the time. It doesn't seem like he would ever like even hurt a fly anymore. He's obviously done a lot of mental reflecting since the day he killed John Lennon 30 years ago. And they deny his parole like clockwork, like every year. Or it used to be every 2 years. Now I think it's every year that he reapplies for parole, and they're just like, dude, you killed John Lennon. We're not letting you out of here.
Who is John Lennon?
Beatles, like the lead guy of the Beatles.
I knew I recognized the name, but I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah, no, he's the lead guy. He's the lead guy of the Beatles, and another guy named Mark Chapman shot him to death in like the 90s or 80s or something. And that guy is still in
So-
prison to this day and has been applying for parole constantly since I think 2002 was the first time, and has been continually denied for the past 20 plus years.
I'll tell you what my ideal prison is, like my ideal like justice system. My ideal justice system is I feel like you should have punishments, right? But I feel like the punishments should be like community service. Right? It shouldn't be anything for profit because we fucking abuse that shit. Right? If it's for profit, we're just gonna start arresting people for no fucking reason. Right? So I feel like it should be things that you're gonna go down the street and you're gonna pick up fucking trash and you're gonna be productive. Okay, and it's gonna suck because it's gonna be hot and you're gonna walk miles. All right, and it's gonna make you think, man, I don't want to do this again. So I'm gonna like, and you should have programs like rehabilitation programs. We have like AA, and we have some like drug rehabilitation programs. And we have things like that. Like we do have some things to rehabilitate people, but we should do more. All right, so it should be a mix of rehabilitation and punishment, right? Like you said, nobody should get life in prison off rip. If you get life in prison, it should just be death penalty, and it should be easier and cheaper than what it is now. Like if you go and I shoot up a church, I shoot up a school, I shoot up something bad, you just go and fireman squad it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't necessarily be against that. Like, there are obviously a lot of cases where, like I said, my heart wouldn't weep. But it's like, in general, I just think, like, killing people is weird. And maybe we shouldn't do it.
I don't. I think if somebody, like, bombed the crap out of, like, New York City, we'd just go bomb the crap out of them and then be done with it.
It's like, the thing is, like, I obviously, to be clear, I don't mind when people are killed during those acts as a preventative measure. But when we catch them and they're no longer a threat, I feel like killing them maybe isn't necessary.
It's listen, the whole idea is it's just a numbers game, right? It's a fact of where do I want to spend my money? All right? Do I want to give free college and free healthcare to like Joe Mama down the road who just goes to Walmart and works her shift and comes home? Or do I want to get free healthcare, 3 meals a day, lodging, personal security to make sure they're safe, to like pedo Joe who raped 3 kids, right? Where would I rather spend my money?
So to be clear, because I genuinely don't know this, because I feel like this wasn't always the case, if it is now, is the death penalty on the table for just rape? Do they do that?
So the death penalty is a state by state thing. Except there is some death penalties for federal crimes, so it doesn't matter where you commit.
I was under the impression that like the only thing that could trigger a death penalty is some sort of murder. Like a person has to have died because you killed them.
I'll just Google it. I don't know. I know it's state by state. How do I
like if you raped somebody and then you killed them, you're probably gonna get the death penalty more often than somebody who didn't rape somebody before they killed them, because you're just gonna be viewed worse as a person in that situation. But I don't know if just rape can get you the death penalty.
So it's killing people, torturing people. That makes sense.
I could see rape falling into a torture category in certain legal
murder
contexts.
for hire, killing during. This is just all killing. Acts of terrorism. Oh, espionage and treason.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't know if I agree with that, actually. There's a little anarchist in me that's like, I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yeah, but if I go to China and a bunch of people die, treason is one of those things where like death goes with treason. When you commit treason, but it says rare and it says federal cases.
Because like what Edward Snowden did is treason, right? And that was just like, hey, the government's spying on you, which is based in good, and I like that he did that.
So hold on. The thing is though is like I don't think he got, because you don't always just get the death penalty for treason. It's just
He didn't
it's
get
an
anything
option.
because he ran because he's hiding.
Well, the point that I'm making, Riley, is that that is just on the table if you commit it. Right? It's up to a judge to do it, and they're not going to do it if you just did some dumb shit.
Yeah, you see the betrayals of the government I don't think are worthy of death unless they cause death, which those would probably be the cases where the death penalty is applied, which makes sense.
Did you see? Did you see where some people got arrested for leaking military documents into a Discord server because they were playing a military game and the guy was in the military and he was like, "Yeah, fucking this shit is not realistic. Here's the specs to the fucking military equipment. I fucking know I'm in the military."
Bro,
Have you seen that?
imagine committing treason for Discord clout.
Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Hold on,
no,
I'm
I
gonna
have not.
hold on, I'm gonna pull up this news story. Hold on. Give I'm gonna find it. Hold on.
Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me.
Right here. So this is CNN. A recent leak of classified U.S. documents on social media platform Discord seemingly caught many at the Pentagon by surprise. It wasn't the first time that the forum, popular with online gamers, had hosted military secrets, underlining a major challenge for U.S. national security establishments and platforms alike. As recent as January 2023, someone on a forum for fans of the video game War Thunder reportedly published confidential information on an F-16 fighter jet. That followed reports of at least 3 other occasions since 2021 when War Thunder fans posted documents on French, British, and Chinese tanks. These cases, which Axios also reported on the context of the Discord leaks, typically involved users boasting of their inside knowledge of military equipment and claiming to want to make the game more realistic.
Funny. You can't do that, guys. I'm sorry to tell you. You can't do it. It's kind of it's kind of cool. I would like to be able to look at the schematics of a military fighter jet on Discord for fun, but you can't do it. You just can't do it. Dems the brakes, unfortunate.
It says the episodes point to vexing challenges for social media platforms like Discord. Will 21-year-old Airman Guardsman Jack, I'm not even going to pronounce that last name, allegedly began posting classified information in December, and the U.S. military, which has used Discord for recruiting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that we had Discord military guy like, hey,
dude,
playing War Thunder? You playing War Thunder? Well, how would you like to do? So apparently we have keyboard. I feel like in the future we're gonna have fucking keyboards, tanks. I swear to God, we're gonna have keyboards and mouse and like our military equipment, and you're gonna have fucking people in there like,
dude, there's gonna be
yeah,
there's gonna be a time where gamers are the defining war class. And it's gonna be sooner than you think. Okay, Call of Duty is gonna become real. We're gonna create robots that are controlled via keyboard and mouse, and it's just gonna be we're playing Call of Duty in real life.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Right? Like you're fucking your Chinese guy, and you're like fighting American robots, and this fucking robot just comes over there and fucking slides, shoots you, and fucking teabags you.
Bro, he was hacking. That guy was hacking.
That guy was hacking, bro.
He's got an aimbot, bro.
It says Discord and other platforms face difficult balancing act in giving young gamers the space to be themselves while also detecting the illegal posted content. So Jack allegedly posted the documents, which included U.S. intelligence on the war in Ukraine, to a private Discord chat in an attempt to look after his online friends and keep them informed. The Pentagon is trying to tap into online youth culture without it backfiring, as it did with Jack. an Air Force gaming program that allows service members to compete in video game leagues to, according to the Pentagon press release, build morale and mental health. Has more than 28,000 members. The top of the Air Force gaming website includes a link to join the program's Discord channel.
Sorry, guys, I can't go into the front lines today. It's Evo Day, baby. We're going to Evo.
I just imagine like one of these generals going, "Hey, China, we got our Fortnite battle pass that we got to get through. So if you'll just hold off for a week."
Yeah, look, bro,
I need this.
like all of
They've
like
got the Peter Griffin skin, and I have to have it. If I miss this, I'm shooting a fucking nuke.
like we
So
probably
give me a fucking week.
we probably shouldn't be telling you this, but like we're just hoping you'll throw us a bone on this one. Like our whole army is in a Smash Bros tournament right now. So like if we could just hold off, this we can have our war, we can have our fight. Just like let's do it tomorrow. All right, we got to do the Smash Bros tournament. There's no need. Come on, guys.
Fucking, I love this. It says, so this professor said with porn, you can at least have some kind of AI that can give a flag that can like detect it. Because like we know what penises look like. But what looks like a classified document? It's just a document.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
As
it's kind
social
of a
media
tougher nut to
platforms
crack.
as social media platforms like Discord grapple with these challenges of detecting sensitive, intelligent leaks online, current and former U.S. officials worry that U.S. adversaries like Russia may see an intelligence gathering opportunity. If it's not already happening, my guess would be that Russia has assessed that digging around in some of these obscure online forums could bear fruit.
It could.
It says, although there was no evidence that Jack was approached by foreign agents, some random guy I don't know said a young generation of online gamers could be ripe for target recruitment. Ego and excitement have always been strong motivations to spy.
Bro, I could. If somebody came to me on Discord and was like, "Bro, listen, this America shit, whatever, right? China, bro, come on over, join the Chinese army." It's like I don't know.
I just imagine like some guy going, "So you know how you just got a 50 bomb on Call of Duty? So we can give you this controller and you could do that in real life. We got drones."
Yeah.
What's it called? But you know, they're already doing it a little bit. They're already starting to develop some we're not quite there yet because our generation isn't quite old enough yet, but we're already starting to put like gaming controllers and shit in military equipment. That's like been a thing that people have been doing. Like this is something that the military is slowly gonna do.
I'm sure video game controllers have been used as like drone remotes. Because the fucking video game controller was used for that submarine that got imploded. Like, people use video game controllers for other things. Turns out they're really good at controlling. I don't know if you realize that about video game controllers, but if you need to control a thing, a video game controller is pretty well designed to do that.
Well, it's not even just that. It's just the fact that like these fucking kids are basically training since they're like 12 on these controllers. So you might as well. I also like if they're smart, they'll have the USB cable. That way you could do Xbox and PlayStation or Switch. Right? You could just like,
Nah.
oh, you're a PlayStation player? Here, just there you go. Oh, your Xbox? Here, this one's more comfortable. There you go. Get them. Go get them, boy.
Go get them.
Fuck the Chinese.
America.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
All right, Brad. I'm sweating. I had some chores to do, and I gotta be in bed pretty soon. So I think we're gonna call this a death stream. You see, when we rebooted this show, I had Fridays off, and now I don't anymore. So
I'm gonna show you this. This is how many sodas I've been drinking. And I need to fucking clean this shit up.
A little bit.
And that's 2 days worth of sodas. So I got this new. You can see it back there. It's black. Yeah, that's my mini fridge. I got this mini fridge now, and I just fucking. I'll be gaming, and I'll just be like, fucking soda. Used to, I'd be like, oh, I gotta go downstairs. I'm gonna fucking walk. Now it's just there. So
That's pretty sick. That is a cool thing to have. But all right, folks.
but I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, thank you for listening to the Death
Catch
Stream.
me on Twitter.
Yep.
Where? My biggest post on Twitter that has 4 likes. It's the most likes I've ever gotten. Was an anti-Trump post. So I need more followers.
Yeah, we gotta get you some pro-Trump followers to go with your pro-Trump sensibilities. But what is the @ on that? You didn't say it. What is it?
Bradley Badley. It's Bradley Badley. Hold on, I'm gonna read the post. I will read the post. I'm gonna read my
Let's hear
biggest
it.
post. It was hold on. Donald Trump's State of the Union felt like a child trying to show off their second-grade artwork, and Republicans were the ones who were telling him he had the best speech ever afterwards. Were his parents patting him on the back, calling him a real Picasso. Annoying, didn't address anything.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and I guess I got 2 likes. 2 likes and 20 views. That's the most I've gotten. You haven't even liked any of my posts. None of them.
But maybe I just haven't seen them. I'm following you, but I don't see. I'm also following thousands of other people, so I don't see every post from everybody I follow. But regardless, you can find me, folks, at linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe. That's RIELY Cinematic Universe. So much exciting stuff going on there, podcasts, YouTube channels, and all of that stuff. I do want to give a particular shout out to the other live podcast I do, and that's the Trans Fat Experience with co-host Demi Gloom. The next one of those we're going to do is going to be on Saturday at noon. And then from that time forward, the time slot is switching to Thursdays at noon. So from then on, both of my live podcasts are going to be on Thursday. Thursday's going to be the day for live Riley content. Demi Gloom for the Trans Fat Experience at noon. And of course with Brad for the Death Stream at 7.
Tell Demi Gloom that whenever she is ready to debate a topic, right? We don't have to debate now, right? I am okay with us picking a topic and setting a date a month in advance, or a month, in advance or whatever, a month out, and us researching and having all of our shit together. We don't need to just get into a call and make it like random.
I think she wants to debate you about trans stuff, but we have to iron down like what she thinks versus what you think and what the debate would be there. And then I'm sure she's willing to debate speech because we have a lot of in-depth conversations about speech. So I'm sure she's willing to get into an academic discussion as far as that's concerned.
My thing is though is that even though I'm transphobic, we fucking agree for the 90% of the trans things. I don't think there's anything. I am ignorant about it. Like I'm definitely I have no trans friends. It's not a community I'm involved with, so I'm definitely ignorant. But I agree with this idea that they should be allowed to do what they want. There's no reason why. I've said this multiple times, and I'll keep saying it. This is one of my catchphrases. All right, being trans is the most American thing you can do, and you cannot convince me otherwise. There's nothing more American than being trans.
It's a freedom. It's freedom of your expression. So it's like the First Amendment says.
Being yourself and doing what you want is the most American thing I can think of.
Guys, freedom of expression, it's not just an amendment. It's the first one, okay? So just think about that. Not only is it on there, it's the most important one. That was our first, okay, what's the most important? Because the first one's always the most important. What do we have to tell them? Because you're always going to think of the thing you have to tell them the most first. So, what are the things we have to tell them that they can do? Freedom of expression. You can say and do what you want. So there you go. Most important principle. Most important value.
Anyway, in the stream.
And in the stream. Folks, We got exciting